Jaeger walked into the boardroom to fill his cup of coffee. Who decided the coffee maker should be in here anyway? At an odd silence, he turned around to see Blaze Bingham sitting at the boardroom table, a guilty look on his face. Jaeger raised an eyebrow. The least you could do is answer, he said jokingly. Blaze grinned at him, sorting photographs into separate stacks. Personally, I think it's a silly place for the coffee maker, he said. But when you get a cup of coffee and turn around, you see this big empty table. It does invite all kinds of things. He motioned at his own cup, which is why I haven't left. You're done for the day anyway, aren't you? Jaeger asked, sitting down beside him. Jaeger studied the man in front of him. Blaze had a scar across his cheek that twisted his features somewhat, but he was still a good-looking man. But that scar gave him a badass, having been through the worst and come out the other side type of a look. Jaeger imagined the women would like it if they ever got past the initial shock. But then again, Blaze, it appeared, deliberately kept himself out of the loop from most of the social scenes. Jaeger wondered at that, but then they all had their own challenges when it came to getting back into the circle of life and relationships after recovering from injuries such as theirs. What are all these photos? Blaze just chuckled, spreading them in front of him. Most people have pictures of babies, he said. These are my babies. I volunteer at the local rescue center. Jaeger looked down and saw dogs, and even more dogs. He smiled as he picked up one photo of a French bulldog, his grin wide and happy. These are all at the shelter? He questioned. I hope not, because that would mean the shelter is incredibly full of unwanted animals. No, Blaze said. They're the ones we've helped place. Rescuing animals is good for the soul. Do you have much in the way of dog training? He studied Blaze's face intently. They still needed more men for the canine files. They had 3 down, all successful. Jaeger didn't want to slow the momentum now. But every one of the assigned men had gone out, and not one of them had come back. Jaeger thought that made it a double success. But he wasn't so sure the commander who'd placed their trust in him and the rest of the guys would agree. I grew up raising them, Blaze said. My dad is Newfie and St. Bernard crazy. We had purebreds. My mom used to show them, and Dad raised and trained them. So you have some training expertise. Some, he said. My dad is a wicked hand at that, though. I'm surprised you didn't go into the K-9 unit in the military then. I tried, Blaze said, giving him a lopsided grin, but I failed. At that, Jaeger's eyebrows shot up. It doesn't look to me like you failed at much in life. Well, I'd like to think I failed at this one for the right reasons. Jaeger waited. Blaze picked up a photo, then slowly pulled it toward him, stacking them all together again. See? Part of the reason those canine dogs are in the military is how well suited they are for the grueling training they go through. But we're warned that we're not allowed to get too attached. We're told these dogs could move out, not become part of our group, and that we wouldn't have any say in the matter. We'd be handlers, not owners. Now, if we retired and the dog was retiring at the same time, that's a different story, but you figured you couldn't go into it without your heart getting engaged. Absolutely. Interesting. How do you like working here? To be honest, Blaze said, it's just a stopgap measure. I was thinking about going home to my dad, maybe taking over the family business. Training St. Bernards and Newfies? Maybe other dogs, he said. The old man keeps trying to tell me to come back. We lost Mom 2 years back, and he's lonely. There's just him and me now. Where's home? Kentucky. You're here in New Mexico, why? Because I was still wandering my way back there, he said, this time the grin nowhere in sight. It seems like I was doing everything I could to avoid going home.